Hi, welcome to Bear Mountain. It's been a while since we've done a video, so we thought we'd start out our fall and with fall plantings and show you some things that we're doing around the farm. Today we're planting ornamental kale. These were all grown in mini blocks, and they got a little along on us, and so they're a little bit long in the tooth, but they're still going to be okay, we think. We're planting these with a Pottiputki. Now, a Pottiputki is a planting tool that is made by a Finnish company called BCC, and they're repped. You can get them from a company in North America called BAP. BAP.com is their website, and they come in various sizes. This one sized for about an inch to inch and an eighth, somewhere around in there in terms of diameter. It's called 38 millimeter. I'm not so great on my metric conversions, but it's perfect in size for smaller type plugs, like if you were doing, in this case, a 3/4 inch mini block works, or even a 288, and you might even be able to get some ones that are a little bit bigger. I'm not sure, maybe a 144 might work in it too. They come in various sizes. This is the smallest size that they sell at BAP, 38. The basic construction of it is a tube, 1.25 inch opening at the top, spring release mechanism, a pair of jaws that open with a foot lever, and a depth gauge stop to help determine how deep you want the actual jaws to go in the ground. Now, these were originally designed for planting trees, and so we're kind of multi-purposing these things and using it for a different thing in terms of planting small transplants. So how we use it is pretty simple. Now, I have to apologize for my makeshift here tray, but we're trying to figure out a way of getting a hip belt that will work with a 1020 tray, and we just had some scrap parts, this being a grocery hand cart, and it fits nice. The tray fits inside most of it, and it keeps it at a nice level. So the objective we're trying to get to is to have the plants at a level where we don't have to bend down or anything like that, and we can stay pretty much erect. The planting is simple. We put it in the ground. You just stab it in to the depth of the stop. You hit the foot lever to open the jaws and take the plant, and drops down, goes into the hole. You pull it out, close the jaws, repeat. So the interesting thing about it now, one of the things that people notice is that when you use a Pottiputki, it'll leave sometimes an open gap when you drop the plug in there. Now, there's two ways that we backfill around the plant. If we're planting real close, most of the time the hole is backfilled by when you stab in to the next planting, which could be 4 to 6 inches away. The movement of the topsoil basically fills in the plant. The second way of doing it is, after we finish planting, we're going to come through here and water really heavily, either with a sprinkler or a hand wand, but give it a good soaking, and that will move the loose topsoil on top around the plant itself. These are no-till beds, so the soil in our first probably 3 to 4 inches is really friable, and so it moves pretty easily. So we got that one open. We just dropped the next one down, put another one in, and you just keep doing this. For different plants, you can set the depth differently. What we have done in the past, and we'll show this on another video, for things that are really shallow, say like a yarrow or something of that nature, which is not a super tall plant, we can put an adjustment at the bottom of the stop. It's just a simple wood block that will change the depth to even maybe only an inch. So there's lots of flexibility with this. We figure that we can go, if you get into a good rhythm and things are ready to go, the bed's in good shape and everything, 400 to 500 plants an hour for two kind of old people like us isn't too bad, and we can keep it moving along pretty good. We haven't found many plants that have a problem using a Pottiputki. The only one that seems to be the biggest problem are dianthus. For some reason, because of the flexibility and the floppiness of the plant at a young stage, we get a lot of rolling of the block inside of the actual Pottiputki itself. And so we're trying to figure out a way of maybe making some kind of insert that would help that, but for right now that's still a hand planting job. But most everything else has enough size and weight that, depending on the size you use, it'll go through. So as an example, what are the sizes that we use? We use the 38. We don't own a 45 millimeter. We do have a 55, and we have a 75. The 55 will take care of things that would be, if you're using plug trays, like 72s, so great for like sunflowers or zinnias or something of that nature. The 75 is used for 2-inch blocks. So that one is a kind of a big mama, but the 2-inch blocks are pretty good size, but it works out pretty well. For most everything else, it's the 38 for us, because most what we're trying to do is move towards using mini blocks as the base planting. We got this technique idea from Lisa Ziegler. She's got a really good do on it. I recommend you guys check out her website. We'll put it in the show note links to where you can get information on her, but she's been in the business for years and she's great. So the only other thing left on here is to finish out our job. And okay, one of the other things now when you get ready to plant using mini blocks, and I recommend doing this actually with any block or plug, is to really wet the thing down about 45 minutes ahead of time before you're going to plant. We want these guys on the base of the soil to be just damp to the touch, and that adds extra weight. It also helps with transplant shock. When we're using mini plugs, these guys are growing out, 3 to 4 weeks. And we're going to typically kind of rip these guys apart just prior to coming down to plant, and that way it's faster and we're not trying to rip it apart in the actual tray itself. So it becomes a tray of basically individual plants. So that extra moisture really makes a difference in the period of time that between being ripped apart and being stuck in the ground. So that's an important safety tip. The other thing is, which we kind of recommend too to do, is perhaps a day or two before you're going to transplant, do your last fertilization. Get them some sea kelp or fish emulsion fertilizer, that sort of thing, on them. That just gives them a little extra juice when we go through this kind of rough period of getting them in the ground. So let's move on and do some planting.
For bulbs?
No, that was a question that came up. Can you plant these with bulbs? We don't, because they're you have to think about what's going down on a Pottiputki. Is if you look at a plant, it's almost like an arrow. Think of the plug itself, the actual soil part of the plug, as the point of the arrow, and the leaves are like the feathers on the arrow. So the idea is that the leaves are going to be the guide down the tube, while the actual soil block itself is the weight. So when you drop it down, it goes down the tube straight. If you're planting a bulb, what'll happen is the bulb will roll, and you'll end up with a situation where it could be planted on its side, could be planted upside down. It'll just be massively inconsistent. Most of the bulbs we plant are tulips, and tulips have their own methodology of planting. I recommend that, I think we've got a video on it, you can go back and take a look, but there is a whole different way of doing that. This is specifically for using for live plant transplants. So, I want to thank you today. Sorry it's been a while since we've had a good video for you, but we hope to be able to get more of these out over the next few months to kind of help you out as we go through fall. We're going to be showing the things that we're doing. If you like what you see, we appreciate all the people who subscribe to us, and up in the left hand corner is the subscribe button, and also too we have some links to other videos that may make sense with this one, And be sure to check out our archives. We've got a few videos out there of various things that we've done over the past year. And thanks for tuning in today, and I want you to have a good day, and thanks for visiting Bear Mountain.